It's Brittany Bitch, and we're back. Welcome to Midnight Release, the Michelin star of the entertainment industry, where we give news, scores, and thoughts on the newest movies, shows, and video games. Please take a seat and enjoy the show.
Rings of Power episode 3 is out, and we are late to the show, but we are getting it done here. Yeah. And again, we did not talk about this before. So we are going to do something a little different where we're going to give our scores together. We're going to talk about our scores and maybe get a little discussion going on what we think is the right score, which I think that'll be fun. Yeah. But yeah, initial reactions, no spoilers.
No spoilers. My favorite episode.
Yeah.
As of right now.
Yep.
For the
sure.
Rings of Power.
Yes. It was
in every way, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a couple scenes that I didn't care about, but getting the story going and man, the scenery. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. Yep. They spent so much money on this dang series, man. Everything looks so good.
Yeah, so impressive. This was, I agree. This was the best episode you kind of took the words out of my mouth. Like, even though I'm sad Elrond wasn't in it, because he's been one of my favorite parts of the show, it was still my favorite episode, because everything they showed, I was into, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except, again, just like you said, those couple scenes. So I wonder if both our scenes are the same, and if we felt the exact same on this episode. But the show even with the best episode yet, this one, the show still hasn't reached, like, amazing yet. Which I think it has the groundwork. I think just the writing needs to improve, and then I think in the future, I think it could reach amazing, honestly. Which after the first couple episodes, I did not think that was possible. But I'm already seeing some things I'm liking better, and I could see this show being very good. Even though it's good right now. I like it. I would tell anyone to watch it, but I could see it reaching that upper echelon later on, right?
Yeah, no, I have very little doubt that it's gonna get to that point, because now they're getting to the story and talking about just stuff that actually I care about, talking about a little bit of the past of the Great War, and then it seems like it's all coming together. You're seeing little blips of stuff from Lord of the Rings, like, oh shoot, that's that, okay,
it's so good,
stuff like that. So no, it's getting there, and just
this one had, honestly, I feel like the lore that I learned in this one was better than the first episode.
Yeah,
like, that feeling
I care about those more, 100%. Like, it was cool knowing about the lore in the first one, about
like
the
how
elves,
the elves
and,
came.
Yeah.
But this was
with Morgoth
better,
and everything. But I mean, I think Morgoth's cool and that story's cool, but give me Sauron, dude.
Yeah.
Give me Mordor, give me the rings,
Yeah.
And we're getting to that.
Yes.
So
after this episode I smiled. Like, I'm excited for the next episode to see some of these things come
down. There was 2 things that made me smile in this episode. And I'm curious on what you think about those couple things. So.
Yeah, write those down. Make sure you bring them up.
I'll bring them up.
Okay. So hopefully now you're excited to watch it if you haven't watched it yet for our non-spoilers. But I guess to keep the non-spoilers going, let's talk about scores.
Yep.
So here's our debate portion before we give the score. So I must come out with mine, and then you can say yours. I want to give this an A.
Just a solid
A. Just a straight A right now. Okay. I don't think... I'm going to go expound a little bit. It's not an S, which S is basically like the 90s of others, like 90 out of 100. I don't think it's reached 90s yet. I could see it reaching 90s in the future, but this just felt very good, but not amazing yet, which is why I'm giving it that. Just an 8. I don't want to give it A+ yet. It's close.
Yeah.
It's not an A-, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm right at about A-. A. I'm right on the lower end.
On the lower end, okay.
I'm gonna give it an A-. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
and it's just because of those couple scenes we talked about that I felt like, what was the point?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I feel comfortable going to A- then.
Yeah. No, I'm just.
Okay, A- it is. That's our score. That was easier than I thought.
Looks like everyone kind of gave it.
Pretty
relative.
We can share those scores. With them.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, first off, now we got the critical description. So this is just me. You can tell me what you think if you want to change some wordings.
No, you're good.
I put very good pacing, bringing excitement to the future of the show, but still the best episode yet. How did you feel with that?
No, perfect.
You like that? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, again, I wanted to highlight the pacing in our description because throughout it, I felt like they weren't pushing too hard to be exciting, but they just allowed things to roll in its time. They were always cutting at the right times where I wasn't getting bored of a scene. I just felt like everything felt good in this one, which is why I wanted to kind of highlight that.
Yeah, and for me, the pacing and the excitement, it kind of went throughout the whole episode because it wasn't fighting excitement, it wasn't dragons flying around, but it was the story.
Yeah.
And the couple things that you notice, like, okay, can that be that? Can that be that?
Yeah.
Just moving forward.
Which is what makes something good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's spoil this now. Let's get into the nudes. The news.
The
nudes. So, I'm going to give you some, titles that people wrote. So, The Rings of Power Adar, which is this episode, gets closer to the ideal Lord of the Rings show. Episode 3 puts the Amazon adaptation on the right path. And I firmly agree, and so I wanted to say this one because I feel like after that second episode is when it wasn't on the right path. As if you watch that episode, you'll see that we had quite a bit of qualms with many of the scenes put in it. But this one, I felt like we are on the right path. Kind of keep going in this direction. Still improve the writing a bit to get to something amazing. But this is now, we're headed good. Like, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
And
I agree because I feel like the first 2 episodes was just filler garbage. Not garbage, but just, hey, we got to get a little bit of lore in. We got to talk about this stuff. And now we've got some character bases down. We kind of have a direction of where we're going. And now we're laying on some thicker stuff where the Lord of the Rings followers, that's what I think we really want,
Well, that's exactly my problem with the show. Hearing you say that is a well-made written show. The filler, like, beginning stuff, like in those first 2 episodes, that should not have been boring at times,
I get it.
They should have been able to make it slow and entertaining and great, but they failed. But now we are getting going, and it actually reminded me of something. Do you know who the writer is? Brandon Sanderson is. Do you know that writer?
I could not tell you.
Oh, okay.
On the top
well,
of my head, no.
He's written a lot of famous books. You probably don't know any of them, but anyways, he's really famous. He writes like fantasy novels, really large novels, and he has a podcast that he talks about Rings of Power, and what him and his partner said was the exact opposite of us. They're like, the first episode wasn't great, but the second one I was really into, and we were like the exact opposite of that, which is funny.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they felt that way. I didn't listen long enough to hear their reasoning, but I thought that was hilarious. The exact opposite. Well, okay, here's another title. Give me your thoughts. In its 3rd episode, The Rings of Power still does right by both Tolkien and Jackson, but it could stand to pick up the pace. How do you feel with that?
A little bit, honestly. I mean, it does well, though. That's the thing. I give this one a good solid AA- because that I feel like the pace kept up pretty well.
Yeah, I have no qualms, man.
And I don't think
I hate this title.
No.
I'm surprised they feel this way.
Yeah.
Like, that's the beauty of Lord of the Rings, is the fact that it wasn't always fast.
Yeah.
It made a beautiful story come out through the talking and just set up. So I'm kind of sad that they said that. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes said The Rings of Power risks straining viewers' patience by expanding its scope instead of meaningfully progressing its established story threads. But Adar is just as impressive as its predecessors. So, yes, it is impressive. Again, I think they're all going to be impressive episodes. But, again, this one kind of goes to that last thing. I just don't agree with this. This was one of the episodes where it did not strain me or my patience, and expanding its scope is good. It's just another thing that kind of bugged me reading it, where I just feel like I feel the exact opposite of some of these review sites. Yeah. Which brings me back, is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, or the show, is because I feel like, do the review sites actually think what the people think? Because I feel like we got to think what people think, right?
Yeah, you think?
You'd think so.
You think so. But no, I disagree with that too.
Right?
I mean, it might be expanding the scope a little bit, but it's doing it well.
But is it though? I feel like, it's just, all they're doing is introducing characters and storylines. That's what you do.
No, well, exactly.
That's literally what you do.
I mean, they obviously brought in a few new characters, which got me pumped beyond all reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we start, oh my gosh. Oh, what's his name?
Isildur.
Yeah, Isildur. Yeah. The second that name popped up, and then a couple of the sceneries, you're like, okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, that obviously gets your blood pumping a little bit, or it should, if you're a dang Lord of the Rings fan.
Yep. I also wanted to just mention really quickly how cool the ship looks.
Oh.
Right? Oh my gosh.
I think I'm going to be saying this multiple times this episode, is the scenery and the design, the sets, everything. The way the orcs look, the weight. It is phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah, the orcs look
really so
good.
Beautiful. The orcs looked so good, dude. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. I felt like John Hammond while I was watching it, and just saying to myself, they spared no expense. Every time I saw something, dude. And every single orc looked different. They had their own little unique thing, but it didn't look bad. It looked so good. So well done. Oh.
Yep. I'm so glad that at least the visuals are there, so we don't have to talk about it, But, those ships, I felt like they put Euron Greyjoy's ship to shame, dude. That's all I'm going to say about that.
The Greyjoy without a cook.
Yeah, the cook. So, okay, Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 88, which is very similar to us. If you're going to convert the letter to a score.
Lower,
we're a little lower, but pretty close.
That's not bad.
IMDb, though, gave it a 7.3, which is quite a bit lower. It's not low enough to make a big deal about it for me, but I'm surprised that they gave it that low. I do feel like it deserves a little better than that. But still, nothing glaring yet. And then we get to Twitter. So someone said, "This show is doing everything my heart could ever want and more." Definitely just a Lord of the Rings fan right there. Like, they're going to like anything that comes out. So, I mean,
100%.
Am I jealous of her? I can't remember if this was a man or woman, but am I jealous that they get to experience things without critiquing it? Sure. But I'm glad you enjoy it. Someone else said, "Best show out right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so hyped for Adar." And then someone replied to it with Damon saying, "Very good." From the episode 2, which I thought was hilarious. So let me ask you, is this the best show out right now?
No, House of the Dragon.
Okay, yeah.
With the shows I'm watching,
just the shows.
I'm watching a handful, but do I get more excited for House of the Dragon right now? Yes, still.
Yeah. And as we record this, there's another episode out right now that we have not watched.
Yeah. Yep. And it's supposed to be a doozy, so I'm pretty excited about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I truly believe I'm going to flip it later on.
Yeah, you said
with
that.
Rings of Power. I really do. But as of right now, man, House of Dragons got me.
It's going to be hard not to flip just because of how many more episodes we get.
Yeah.
From this.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
And where it's going.
Yeah.
I just want to know where they're going to end this season, because then you got to assume it's going to be, a year, 2 years for them to bring out a new season. It's going to be. I'm very intrigued.
And so actually, on another note, I watched a video that someone posted like from reading the books, and I'm really mad because they told me something that I'm going to bring it up at the end of the episode to see if you want to hear it.
Well, I want to hear it now.
You do want to hear it? Okay.
Is it going to ruin anything?
It'll spoil.
What
something.
books?
No, Silmarillion or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you at the end.
I'm okay with that.
And then we'll warn you. I'll warn you before we say it to the audience, so if they don't want to hear it. But I mean, it's already out there, so it's not like.
Yeah.
Okay, so Forbes said this. I wanted to bring up: is this the best show out right now? Because this next thing is from someone from Forbes who said this: House of the Dragon is just better than Rings of Power.
Okay.
And I know we've hit the hammer on the head a lot with this, but I think, just those simple words. Just say it for me as well. House of Dragon is just better.
It is.
Just because of the writing. That's literally the only thing. And that's all you need. Actually, the acting's better too. But
the acting is pretty dang good, man.
But acting and writing really go hand in hand. So, when you have both in full force, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
But
now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to give House of Dragon A and Rings of Power D, but it definitely is better right now.
Yeah, it gets a little Tixo head.
Yep.
Okay. Last up, if you don't want to talk about this, actually not last up, we have another thing that you're going to bring up, but okay, if you don't want to get into the politics, we can skip this one, but Elijah Wood recently said, along with the OG hobbits from Lord of the Rings, they said, fantasy has never been all white. Basically, they're pushing back on people who, the article said racist fans, or you could call them fantasy, elitists, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I don't understand what they're trying to say. Is it literally
I think it's
race?
about the black elves, the black dwarf, the black Harfoots.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're talking about.
I can tell you, in all sincerity, that did not cross my mind one bit.
Really?
No, not at all.
Oh, it's never crossed your mind watching this show?
No.
Oh.
Not really. Not that I can.
I still, I don't have anything to say specifically, but something that happened when we were watching a couple days ago is Stacy said, and then I agreed, was it's funny they're trying to be inclusive, but yet all the main characters are white, I guess, except the black elf. All they did was they added a black elf, a black hobbit, and then the leader. Oh wait, also the black dwarf, and then also the leader of what's the city called?
In Numenor.
Numenor. There you go. And the leader of Numenor.
Queen.
Other than those four, everyone's white. That's hilarious. Stacey's like, wait, it's literally just those four people, huh? I was like, I was like, if you're gonna be inclusive, I was like, why would you only stop there?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Which is funny. Like, I don't think we've seen a black elf other than the main guy.
No.
And all the hobbits.
Just got
the leader. Yeah, the leader of the hobbit is black, but then everyone else is white.
Yeah.
And then everyone in Numenor was white, except the leader.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Except the leader.
I was like, okay. Why would you only have four and then not have them scattered throughout?
I can see it.
Yeah, you see that, right? It's weird.
I hear it. No, I see it now, but I don't ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So was Elijah ripping on it? Is that what?
No, Elijah's ripping on people who are complaining about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I actually did some research on this. In Lord of the Rings, in the books, it never says elves are black. I mean, it never says elves have to be white.
Yeah.
It just says that they have fair complexion.
Yeah.
So that's where people like fantasy nerds and like Lord of the Rings Tolkien people are getting mad about.
I got you.
But it never does say that. So there really is no. Yeah, there's nothing that's saying that can't happen. So that's what's good about it.
I got you. Gotcha.
Also, something that George R. R. Martin said from Game of Thrones, talking about Tolkien, is, you know, and then because Martin got crap for not having any black characters in his stories. He said, you know, Tolkien grew up in Europe, you know, a bunch of white people. He liked like medieval times, you know, so he based everything off that, the kings and everything. So, you know, he's just doing it based off what he knows. And George said the same thing about himself. You know, I'm just basing it off of what I know, the history I like that I'm basing off of. And I thought that was interesting. Like, you know, it's just based off what they kind of grew up with. Because he kept, you know, I think Tolkien moved around in Europe and he experienced things. I thought that was cool.
No, makes sense.
Which is probably why Lord of the Rings was all white. You know, I don't know if there's any of what we know about the movies only being white, not casting anyone else. You know, I don't know what Peter Jackson knew that made him do that, but I think that'd be something interesting to maybe it's online that I haven't looked up yet, but yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah. But it's just the time frame we're living in too.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. You got to kind of appease everyone, which it doesn't bother me by any means, but someone's going to make a gripe about it.
Yeah.
Might as well succumb to that and let them be happy. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway.
Okay, next up.
You can go all day about that.
Next up, your thing. I put down.
What, my thing?
In the news.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw a couple memes out recently. People very, very adamant that the guy, the fallen star, is Gandalf. Which I don't know if I believe it or...
I don't believe it at all.
I don't know. I don't either. But they were just very adamant on saying, 100% this is Gandalf. No, you know, him going off. So that will be... So this that got me very interested in this third episode watching it. Because I saw that before we watched it. So I was paying very close attention to him in particular. Just to see, you know, how he acts. And if there's anything that might lead to maybe this being Gandalf. Because it's a wizard, right? We're kind of discussed that. We figured out he's a wizard. But I just don't... It's hard for me to believe it's Gandalf.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously... Anyway. But,
you on.
No, just... He's obviously not the most powerful, right? Saruman is more powerful. He's the head honcho wizard, correct? Of Middle-earth at that time?
Yeah.
With Radagast and... Right?
Yes.
So... I don't know. We'll see. Once he starts talking and stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. It would bug me that they have a different actor.
But he's younger.
He looks older to me.
I don't know. I know he does, so true.
So, let's look here. Life expectancy of races in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Okay, hobbits live around 100 years. Dwarves live about 200 years. I'm gonna save this picture just so I can put it up on the screen. I'll just do it. Men live 100 and... Oh, wait. This is all time. Men in the first age lived about 58 years. In the second age, 330 years. Wow. Third age, 145. Oh, regular men, 80 years. Don't know what that means. And the Numenorians live 237 years.
Okay.
Right, because they were blessed by the elves, right? So
yeah,
they
I'm
live longer.
So. Remember right, Galadriel did say something about them being human, so I mean 200 years to them is nothing, so I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But
and then I also see as well, not on that chart, but elves live forever, and then wizards live forever as well, I guess.
Oh, they do? Okay.
I did not know that. Did you know that?
Interesting. No,
wizards? Yeah, the wizards in Lord of the Rings do not have a lifespan. They are immortal, and therefore do not die from natural causes. Wow.
Interesting. Okay.
That changes everything in my mind.
No, I did not know that.
So Gandalf can...
So it could
that could... Interesting. So, I guess the only the only thing that looks familiar, right, is him talking to the Firefly with his big hands.
But Radagast did that also, too. I mean,
well, Radagast is a nature lover as well.
Yeah.
But then also, it seems like he's very nice with the hobbits. So that's like the only connection I could see.
Oh, maybe. Maybe that's why he has such a special connection with them. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be cool, I guess. I mean, if it turned out to be Gandalf, that'd be sick. No, that'd be awesome.
It's just hard for me to believe because have we heard of any... I guess we've never heard any story of how they came to be,
No.
wizards, where Saruman came from and all that. Mm-hmm. But that'd be cool.
That'd be so sick. And it would make a lot of sense for his backstory and everything.
With his love for halflings and little people.
Which is cool, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the storyline a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh. Numenor. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because this was so good to me. Everything about it. From the set to how it looked to... I loved the discussion as they were walking in.
Yep.
I loved hearing about Numenorians, how they stood with the elves, while other men stood with Morgoth.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
quick. So what's the story? So other men, right? Is it the southern people stood with Morgoth?
Not necessarily southern. I think like all the men that are in Middle Earth right now.
Well, Hellbrand, he stood. Didn't his people stand with Morgoth?
Yeah, but it's just people.
He was a southerner. Yeah. Oh, it's just people in general.
Just all the people in Middle Earth. It seems like.
Oh, okay.
Because all the people on the island, are Numenorians, and they stood with the elves, right?
They stood with the elves against.
Because if they stood with the elves, then they wouldn't be on the mainland. They'd be in the So I think it's all the people, just normal humans throughout Middle Earth.
Okay, gotcha. And basically, they stood with the elves, right? And they stood with the elves, and the elves blessed them and basically gave them the island, right? That's how it happened. And they traded with them. They shared information, stories, knowledge, and then there just became a hatred, right?
Yeah, and was it just
never
pride?
Explain that.
My guess is pride.
That's what it seems like. Yeah. Yes.
So, this blew my mind. I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah.
That whole conversation, I loved it. And did they I don't think they ever mentioned longer life, but we're assuming that, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
She made it seem like they don't live very long, if I remember right. The way she just said, they're just humans, basically. So they're humans, so they don't.
So I guess I have to know, why does Aragorn live longer than normal people?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's just what's it called? Ooh. I have to look that up.
Dunedain or something?
Yeah, he's the Dunedain or...
The royal blood that flows through the veins of the Dunedain allow them to live 3 times as long as normal men. Aragorn's heritage is the reason for his longevity, and he's not the only Lord of the Rings character to benefit from being one of the Dunedain. Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but...
Aragorn is Isildur's heir, right?
Yeah, so he's from Numenor.
And like you said, didn't it say they live up to 200 plus years?
Yeah, but
so
they never said that they got long life, so I was curious.
So does that have to go with being blessed?
Because that's what I was saying. Yeah.
The elves? Yeah.
Well, they never said it, but I just assumed it.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it.
Okay. In J.R. Tolkien's Legendarium, the Dunedain were a race of men descended from the Numenorians who survived the sinking of the island. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So yes.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
It's all coming back now.
I wonder why they had longer life. Just the Dunedain, or maybe all the Numenorians. Well, yeah, that shit said they all did, so they must have. Okay. Anyways, that's good to know, because we all knew Numenor was gonna be destroyed, right? You knew that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't know how. Do we know how?
I think I know, but it's kind of a spoiler, so I don't want to say.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
But it gives me a lot of Targaryen vibes leaving.
Valerian,
No.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily the destruction part, but just they leaving and then they live somewhere else and they are important,
I gotcha.
So, yeah, that's all. That's pretty much all Numenor in terms of the backstory and stuff. Really good.
Yeah.
And then we see Isildur.
Well, it sounds like there's people in Numenor that actually like elves, though. Like the last king, he got banished basically, right? Because he was helping. He likes the elves, so they voted him out. It seems like the captain, Elendil, I think his name is.
Yes.
Elendil, the captain of the ship that brought her, obviously likes elves. You know, he doesn't hate them. So there's obviously something.
Yeah, and he has what do you call it? Royalty in his blood.
Yep. He's something, and he's got
Elendil,
a son and a daughter as of right now.
Yep.
That we know of.
Isildur and his. Which actually the casting of him was interesting to me, because I feel like he was darker skinned than Isildur. No.
Okay.
Did you feel that way?
No, I didn't.
Like Isildur in the movie looks completely white. No. Isildur in this looks half black.
It's almost. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
But Stacey did say, I guess he could be tan. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's still a little bit too far for what he looked like.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah.
But no, he did good. The captain did good. The sister, brother. I mean, because I'm assuming they're going to be in it quite a while, right?
They better be.
Because I have some. Yeah. Specifically the sister and her becoming a builder, right? What was her thing?
The Builders Guild.
The Builders Guild. And that, I want to talk about that later, too, about that.
Okay.
Well, I guess no. Let's talk. Are we leaving Numenor, or are we? Because I guess so. Here's a couple things with Numenor. With the scenery, it looked like Gondor, right? Don't tell me.
I didn't make that connection, but I could.
How did you not make that connection? Oh my gosh, the Gondor, the bridge, or the point up on top of the hill, the point of Gondor, and the white tree.
Yeah.
Everything looks so similar. That didn't get anything. That didn't remind you of.
No.
The structure of Gondor,
like the tree,
and the way it looks.
There was the tree there,
There was
right?
the white tree. Yep.
I mean, I remember thinking about the tree, but I didn't think it looked like Gondor.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I need to go back and watch it then again. See that part.
Yes. Well, let's go real quick. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. I need you to look.
I don't have.
Oh, you don't have it up?
It on my computer. I watch it on my TV.
Well, watch it again.
Yeah.
And you know the scene in Lord of the Rings where they're congratulating Hobbit or the Frodo, Sam, and everything, saying that point on Gondor where.
The huge point at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, with the tree in the garden in the back.
Yeah.
Exact same setup in this. There's that in this.
You seen that exact thing looks like it in Numenor?
Yes.
What? I totally missed that then.
I can't believe you didn't see that, dude. It was so obvious. And that's why it got me thinking and excited. So, obviously, Isildur, they go to Middle-earth, right? Correct? So when they brought up the sister being from the Builders Guild, I straight up thought, okay, she's the one that's going to build Gondor to look like Numenor.
Oh, okay. Because of Isildur. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I see.
So that got me.
I guess I see. I see the picture here.
Do you? Okay.
That looks. Yeah, I mean, it looks like
it looks exactly the same, right? With the way the point and the way it's curved.
But is the tree at the base of it? I mean, at the.
Yeah, it's in the.
This picture isn't high in fidelity enough, but yeah, it does look like
gotcha.
it. I guess I just didn't make the connection because of the big round building at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I mean, the point looks just like it.
Yeah, it's the point with the white tree, because in Gondor it's got the dead white tree, obviously not, but.
I think you just made a amazing guess. That's
nope,
gonna be correct.
There was no guess. Oh, with the sister, because the sister is like, oh, you made it into the Builders Guild. Okay, why would they do that?
Yeah.
So there's obviously something there with that family, you know.
Great job
building Gondor, and obviously Isildur, you know.
Oh yeah. You're right.
So that made me very excited about that. Even more with Numenor.
Hats off to you, man. That was good.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a wife involved? I can't remember.
Is there what?
Was there a wife involved? A mother? Did they talk about that?
Freak. I would have wrote it. I think
so.
But
Yeah.
I don't think they brought it up.
I don't remember seeing that or hearing about that. So.
Well, also going off the Builders Guild, as soon as they said it, I was like, oh, they need to make a MMO based around this time.
Oh.
That's totally like an MMO thing.
Yeah.
Bunch of different guilds you can join and do things in them.
Yep.
It's like they have the foundation. But okay.
Well, let's leave Numenor.
Well, first off, let's go back to the Hall of Lore. Let's stay there for quite a bit, actually, because Halbrand, right? That's the only other important thing to glean from Numenor, right?
Oh yeah. Let's get all of Numenor done. So yeah. So Halbrand is what? He is obviously a king of the South.
We have another big thing. Yeah. Okay.
What?
King of the South.
Yep.
Halbrand. Yeah. She told him he's the king of the South because of what she find in the books at the Hall of Lore.
It was the symbol that he wore. There was some symbol or a pendant that he wore
really?
that had a symbol. I think.
Well,
vaguely remembering that.
Okay. Well, this brings me to one plot point that I want to bring up.
Okay.
Not plot point. Thing I want to get your thought on. So, things that Rings of Power could improve. One of my things I wanted was, I said, make the information reveals a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bad. I just think they could be better. So, like, when she mentions that he's the king, that entire scene could have been better, in my mind.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I felt like it was very lackluster. There wasn't exciting. Oh, shoot, he's the king of the Southlands, because he's now obviously going to be a huge part of it.
Yeah.
You know. Like because he sounded very distraught, too. Like he didn't want that title.
Yeah.
Because I think he was embarrassed about his past, right? Of his people standing with Morgoth, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, like, if I just think about... I wish I had the lines that they said. I just feel like it was like, you're the king of the South. So, I don't know.
That's it. Yeah.
But, like, when I think about... Let me think about Game of Thrones. When Aegon tells Daenerys that he is a Targaryen... You know, he's looking at Lyanna, and she, then she gives the whole backstory about Jon Snow's father, how he's a nice guy, and this whole kind of nice little conversation. And then he says, "She was my mother," and you're like, and then he kind of gives that story. With this, it was just, if I recall, it was literally just, "I saw this. You're the king." Yeah. I was like, oh, it could have been better. More exciting, something like that. That's all I had to say.
It didn't bother me, though, because I didn't really know who Halbrand was, Yeah. But like Isildur, I knew who that was.
Yeah.
So knowing that and,
Well, I'm not saying it's bad.
No.
It's fine. I mean, I wasn't mad after watching it, Yeah. But I just remember thinking, okay, this is something they could improve on. That would make me a little happier inside.
Gotcha.
Okay, the next big thing in Numenor was, honestly, probably the thing that blew my mind the most, because during the scene, Stacy ran, grabbed our Fellowship of the Ring book, went to the last page, and pulled open the map.
Okay.
Because the Sauron logo we've been seeing is literally the same as the Southlands. And even though I always knew that Mordor was down in the south and in that area, I never connected that whenever they showed it.
I gotcha.
I was like, obviously this is going to be where Mordor is. So we are leading... So during this show, we're going to see the Southlands be completely destroyed. Halbrand will lose his title, and Sauron will take control of that land, which is freaking sick. I just love that connection. That was one thing where I was like, okay, this is actually good writing. They're foreshadowing it without us knowing. The sign is, hey, orcs, we're going to meet up there. That's going to be our land. Let's go.
Yep.
Start slowly building, killing, everything. This was the best part of the show for me, the episode.
See, okay, and so that happened too, and that almost got me thinking about Gondor, because Gondor's obviously placed right at the mouth of Mordor. So is it built as basically a barrier, a protection for the rest of Middle Earth?
Ooh, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because why would it there? Why would it be there? Unless they honestly thought they killed Sauron and everything was destroyed and that was good land or whatever, but... Just the way it points, the way it's facing Mordor, It just looks like it's a battleground. The big old open area, just like a lookout. But
that's a good thought.
But
I need to see the map again. I need to see where. So Gondor is literally right there.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right there. If you take a look at the map, it's just right across the.
I remember from the movie.
River.
You see Mount Doom.
Yeah. Yep.
From
when you're on top of Gondor, you can see
it right there.
Mordor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which that's what's so cool. I can't wait to watch Lord of the Rings again and be like, that's the Southlands.
Seeing the
It
connections.
used to be all happy. It used to be a nice little land.
Yep.
Well,
not anymore.
I think that's everything from Numenor, man.
For Numenor, yeah, I think so. That seemed important.
Yeah.
Or interesting.
Oh, I do want to bring up my most hated scene, because I hated it. I hate.
I'm probably right there.
I hate it when Galadriel and Halbrand are riding on the horses, and the slow shot of her face. It was like literally a minute. She's paused.
Like a goblin.
Yeah.
She looked like a goblin, the way she was smiling.
What the freak was that? Do you have any explanation?
It's the love of her in the fresh air and riding a horse.
That was terrible.
It didn't need to happen.
Terrible explanation. Terrible. Everything was terrible. Let's see if I just put Galadriel on a horse. Let's see if it comes up. It does.
Really?
There's a video that came out 2 days ago. Galadriel weird horse riding scene.
Yep. There we go.
I hated it, dude.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
She looks like a little goblin right there.
Oh, it makes no sense, dude. Anything. It could have been anything else. When I was watching it, I was just like, what is happening? And then it just cut to them at the hall.
Yeah.
Dude, it's literally 30 seconds of just slow moving up her body from the horse.
Running across the beach.
Oh, I hated it. Did you not hate it?
No, I didn't care for it at all. Yes.
So out of the blue and so awkwardly placed. Like, I'm just shocked. Okay. So next up, I guess all we got next is the Black Elf. What's his name?
The Black Elf. Well, we got a couple things, but the Black Elf and then
we have the
Hardfoots.
The Hardfoots. Yeah.
But there really wasn't much there. But yeah, so
I guess do Hardfoots first, so we can end on the elf.
Yeah.
Well, the whole exciting scene of trying to get the tessellations was terrible to me.
Yeah,
it was boring. They're trying to make it exciting.
Yeah, they did. What did we get out of it, though? Honestly, what was the main points? I got nothing out of it besides the fact that they are a caring people. Like they gave their respects to the people who died or couldn't keep up, because it sounds like whenever they move, whoever can't keep up, they leave them behind. You know. So, but besides that, what else did they? Besides them kind of taking in the wizard, the fallen star, you know.
Other than, you mean getting the star, the page?
No. Just accepting him, taking in the Hardfoots, the little family.
No, they didn't. Oh, sorry, yeah. The Hardfoots did not accept him, but the family did.
Not the Hardfoots, but the Largo. What is her name? My gosh, Nori. Yeah. And Poppy.
But they only accepted him out of need of his body to push it. The cart.
To push his cart.
Because even though you say they're caring people, if you're left behind, they'll just leave you.
Yeah, no, I get it. I said that, and then I remember seeing that, but I was like, but they they gave respect to everyone who passed. I'm like, okay, maybe. But then right when you said that, I'm like, okay, maybe they don't care about anything.
They're rude.
They're selfish. But here we go. And another little point that it might be Gandalf is they took him in.
Yeah.
They probably watched after him for a while. They cared for, Mm-hmm. So Gandalf's love for halflings and hobbits, that probably stemmed from this. So this is probably true.
Do we think Nori and the wizard are going to be the reason why the hobbits settle down?
Ooh.
And become hobbits in the Shire? Do we think like they find... Wait, is it called... No, it's called Hobbiton. Yeah, not Shire.
Hobbiton. Yeah.
The whole land. I'm thinking the show is going to end...
Just the city.
Or maybe now, I don't know. With them settling down, actually building in their own land as they walk far enough over,
Now that they have a wizard protecting them, they don't need to constantly be in fear, hiding. I don't know.
It'd be cool. I would love that.
Yeah.
Every storyline I'm seeing the vision of it coming to Lord of the Rings in some way, making the foundation.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So, yeah, I'm over that. It's lame.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, the Black Elf, whatever. What's his name?
His
I had his name in the last one.
Arandir or something?
Arandir.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Aaron.
Yeah, this one had
Rondir.
Rondir. His scenes had some really good scenes. So, elves digging to keep the goblins out of light.
Yep.
Going from village to village, slowly building out Mordor underneath everything, which is awesome. And
then Mordor, or are they traveling to Mordor?
See, they're already in the Southlands.
I know, but they're not actually at the location yet.
Yeah, no.
So are they just traveling there to get there and just destroying things along their way?
I think, yeah, and then I think they're also trying to find the sword as well.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yep. Which we didn't really get into at all.
Nope.
This episode, so yeah, you're right.
But they did mention that one time. Yeah. We need to find it.
They're looking for something. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then the elf throat cut was sick. It reminded me of Peter Baelish's death in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
It was so sudden. And yeah, gore is now in Rings of Power. I'm so glad to say it, man.
When he busted such a relief. Arm.
Oh, yes. Isildur, no. Halbrand did. Yeah.
Halbrand, yeah.
Seeing the bones. Didn't stick through, but push up. Yeah, no, push through the skin. Push in the skin. And then also the knife throat cut scene was legit, dude.
Yeah.
That was a scene where I was very happy with it.
Well, and then the dog killing a couple of the people.
Yeah, that was
pretty brutal.
That was at the end of the show. Yeah. The end of the episode. So they want to... Oh, yeah, they don't want to cut through the tree. They want to go around it, which will give them a way to look up and see where they're at. And they give them water, kind of tease them, and then they cut the guy's throat.
Cut the guy's throat, yep.
Well done with that scene. And then, at the end of the show, we get back to them again, and then they try to make their escape. And that's when the freaking warg comes out.
Yep.
And I hated the warg. I hated the way it looked. It looked dumb to me.
It didn't bother me.
I wanted it to look like the Lord of the Rings warg.
That was my issue with The Hobbit.
It looked like
I wanted it. The Hobbit ones are too long and gangly. The ones from Lord of the Rings in Two Towers.
Yeah.
Those ones look so sick to me.
Let me see. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. So I have all three different wargs up on my screen right now.
Yep.
The Lord of the Rings one looks very... It looks like a prehistoric version. Honestly.
No, it does.
And then, yeah, they are gangly on Hobbit.
Yeah. And the Hobbit.
But then the one from this one... it looked like a chihuahua face, and I hated it. No?
I 100% agree with you.
And its body was weird and small.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't like it. No, I don't like it.
But I liked the way it moved. It didn't bother me.
You liked the way it moved? It moved like a chihuahua, dude. It was
fine. the way that it killed a couple people, it was kind of brutal, and
yeah, the killing was awesome.
Yeah,
seeing it rip out the stomachs and stuff, it was legit. But yeah, I'm gonna give Lord of the Rings the best Rorg for sure.
Yes,
and I think Rings of Power is the worst.
Yep,
it's a little Chihuahua thing. I don't like it.
Little Chihuahua.
Maybe it's a little baby Warg.
Well, it was funny because they put so much detail into this dang series that if you see it getting killed, it totally has 6 nipples. It almost looks like it's milking. It's weird.
Yes, yeah. I saw that too.
You know what I mean? It looked like it was pumping milk, and it was obviously a woman, female warg or whatever. But the fight scenes were cool. I liked the whole elf jumping around and stabbing with a piece of twig and, using everything.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Dude, I loved it.
I said I don't love the battle, but it's the best one yet. I thought it was good. Damn. I just imagine.
You don't like the top stuff?
Dude, no, I hate it. If freaking Aragorn was there, that's not how the fight would go. Aragorn would just fight it like a freaking
an elf.
I don't care.
Aragorn is not an elf.
That's not how Legolas would have fought him in Lord of the Rings.
Let's go.
That's how he would have fought him in freaking Hobbit.
Let's go back, shall we?
That's not how he would have fought it in Lord of the Rings. I know it.
Jumpy little scrawny little things that jump around.
Yeah, in the Hobbit, yeah. Dude, what? Legolas never fought like that. What? He jumped from. He was basically just climbing the Oliphant, right? He didn't do anything like that. He's just climbing, reaching.
Oh,
then he cuts the rope. He doesn't do anything crazy. I mean, it's really cool.
So you're talking about the jumping and spinning in the air and all that junk.
And like he flew like 20 feet. In distance in the air. Yeah, I hate it.
I gotcha. Okay.
But that's how Legolas would have fought in The Hobbit. Legolas fought like a human for the most part, other than the Oliphant. But even then,
sliding down.
That scene was sick, and he was more superhuman. Yeah. But it still wasn't like this things,
I gotcha.
If Legolas fought a warg in Lord of the Rings, which we saw him fight in Two Towers, but I can't remember if we saw any of him on the ground. But anyways, there's no elves doing crap like that.
I gotcha.
It bugs
because
me.
They usually, here's my thing. They usually have a bow and a sword.
That's true.
And they're usually 5 leagues back shooting a bow at their face.
That's true.
He had nothing but a little root stick.
I didn't like that.
I'll give you that. I don't know.
Why would the root stick do that?
I don't know. He was cutting it. Didn't he stab him in the neck?
No, I saw it, but how is a root stick that strong or that sharp?
Roots are tough.
No, I don't like it. I mean, I was fine with it, but
yeah. I was fine with it. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna die in the hill for it.
Swords and all that stuff. Yeah. And then they got what happened. They killed the warg. They got through. They had one of the elf leader or whatever got free. Started running. And
that was so good. That was good.
And then he had a couple arrows shoved in his chest. That was messed up. Felt so bad.
See, again, these scenes, the knife cut throat, the elf with his throat cut, and then the leader being shot with the arrows. Yeah. There's just so many signs of, okay, we're on the right page now. I feel like we're there. It's getting there. I'm so excited, dude. And then go on.
No, and then they end it with saying, "Let's bring him to Adar or whatever."
Yep.
So he's getting taken.
Well, didn't they show who Adar's face?
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah,
but they never showed it clearly, right?
No,
it was just a haze.
It's a haze, but he looks very human. He looks kind of like a dark elf right now. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And it's obviously Sauron. So.
Oh, you think that's Sauron?
Oh, I know it's Sauron. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you?
Okay, that's not my spoiler. That's not my spoiler.
Oh, okay.
But
okay, so why do you say that's Sauron?
Adar is Sauron. I just know it. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I feel like something was said, or something was said, or something, where I know that's Sauron,
Yeah, gotcha.
which is so sick. I'm 100% guaranteed that hazy dark elf is Sauron. And yeah, okay. Yeah, so now we're gonna be able to see Sauron next episode, hopefully, unless they cut out his storyline, like they cut out Elrond's. You have to wait another episode, which whatever. I'm fine with it. But okay. Okay, I think we've said everything else I wanted to say here. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna get into my teaser. I mean, not teaser. My spoiler
Thing,
which is this. So if you don't want to listen, thanks for listening, because we're gonna end it right after this. So apparently, Celebrimbor is actually being. He is mentally being used by Sauron to make the rings.
Yes.
To give the ring to Sauron.
Yep.
I don't know if... I'm not sure what Celebrimbor's knowledge or what he knows about it. Like, does he know that he's working for him and he's going to do it regardless? Or in his mind, is he doing the right thing but just being played? You know? But yeah, Sauron is using him right now to make the rings for him. Because that was what I was questioning in episode 2. I was like, how does Sauron get his hands on the most powerful ring? Why do they allow this to happen?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sauron knows that they're being made, and it's being made for him, which is awesome. So, I mean, I'm not glad I know that, but I also think it's gonna make watching it extremely interesting, seeing that come to place. You know, seeing every little thing that's being said, and taking it for what it is, knowing this time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry.
No, I don't know where I heard that though. I did hear that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. Was it like a YouTube video or something?
No, because I'm not trying to watch YouTube videos about this stuff. It must have just been a quick meme or something.
Yeah.
But the only thing with that is I was just very curious on what kind of power was forced on him to do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought the exact same thing, because in the first Lord of the Rings movies where they're talking about the rings, they're like, all these rings were made, they were given to dwarves, elves, humans, and then he kept the one ring. But why? Because obviously in these first 2 episodes, Sauron is obviously a bad person. They're trying to kill him, you know. So why would they have why would they have taken the rings from Sauron if he created them? So this made me go, oh shoot.
Yeah.
You know, so this made me go, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He is literally getting forced to make these rings for Sauron to give to everyone, and then he can control them. Yeah.
Well,
and that's the whole point of the big forge, and
I think, what did I say? This show is literally a revelation to all Lord of the Rings fans, because it's going to make every question we have in Lord of the Rings clear, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And not that the questions ever ruined anything in Lord of the Rings. Like, none of my questions ever brought the experience down. Like, why? Because it's so well done. But I think every question we have is going to be answered. Because in just 3 episodes' time, so many things have been answered. Like, if I watched Lord of the Rings today, my experience would already be so different.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well done. I'm glad that this is coming.
Yep.
I'm glad this is coming out the way it's coming, because, again, we were so scared.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So scared.
They were going to fail this miserably.
Yeah. With, but we got it. It's going good. You got anything else? Any other big topics you had that you didn't write down?
No, not really. The only thing I missed about this episode was more about the dwarves and stuff and Elrond.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any in it, you know. When they talked about getting the dwarves together and making this dang forge and furnace, dude, that made me so pumped. So I wanted to keep seeing that, but
yeah.
So that was the only thing I was like, crap.
I bet
they talked about it a lot.
Yeah, we'll get a ton of it next episode.
Yeah.
Because in the teaser we saw the dwarves and Elrond again. And I'm not sure what else we saw. There wasn't much to talk about it. I remember it being really short and not much to talk about. But that was the only thing I really had to say was the dwarves are back.
Gotcha.
Which is good. Yeah, then again, hopefully the Harfoots gets more interesting. But I mean, I feel like they're trying to be the light, lighthearted aspect of the show.
Yep. A little innocent little group.
Hopefully it gets better.
Well, it should. I mean, if it does end up being Gandalf.
If it's Gandalf.
That'd
be so crazy.
It will change everything in my heart.
That is interesting that you said that, though. Actually, going back to you talking about Gandalf is... I was like... I mean, how many wizards have we seen? I was thinking when I saw that show, like, I wonder if this is showing us the true character of what wizards are. Because at the time, I thought wizards didn't live forever. Yeah. So I was like... I wonder if every wizard is very like this, as we saw from Gandalf and Radagast. And then obviously Sauron was overtaken by the darkness, so he was not that way. So I thought maybe like this will be like in a eye hole into the character of wizards, which is kind of what they're showing. But if it's Gandalf, that'd be so much better. And I'm glad you showed me that. You told me that.
Well, it totally makes sense now that you said his love for hobbits. He obviously has a huge obsession with hobbits.
Yeah.
And the first people he met when he comes to Middle Earth is hobbits.
Yeah.
And they're taking him in and,
Yeah, it'd be really good way to explain that.
Yeah. I just need to explain. Now, if that's the case, I just need way more explanation with the other wizards.
Yeah, like where...
With Saruman.
I'm guessing Radagast just crashed into the forest and was raped by bunnies. And... I don't know. Sauron would be interesting. Sauron would be interesting, though, for sure.
You mean Saruman?
Sorry, Saruman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That does bug me still, that they're both Sauron and Saruman are that close of names.
It took me a few years to get the two names separated. I always thought they were talking about the same people.
Like when the movies were in theaters and stuff? That's when you're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can see that for sure.
I even read the books and still being confused, you know.
Sauron. Anyways. I think that's all. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.
Yep. Peace.